are going to cover Introduction to Checkpoint Technology. Our objective is to understand checkpoint technology, its overview, the checkpoint secure management architecture, how it is, checkpoint firewall core component, three-tier architecture, OSI layer model and where the checkpoint firewall fits in OSI model, mechanism for controlling network traffic like packet filtering, stateful inspection, application intelligence.
There is a company called Amazon, and Amazon have their web servers. Those are web servers generally we hit to do the shopping or something like that. So this is the user like us. We send a request to this servers, and in return we get response from the servers, and our transactions happens in between. If the integrity, confidentiality, and availability of this server is get compromised, what will happen? So there is something like a person who is like a hacker. If he stole these details by intercepting your transactions, just imagine what are the things will be happen, right? To protect such sort of exploitation, this is one of the examples. To protect such sort of exploitations, the checkpoint technology provides the security. I know this is not a very classic example, just but I wanted to give you a brief overview how it looks. So this chapter, the introduction to the checkpoint technology, introduces the basic concept of the network security. So the first topic which I'm going to discuss is checkpoint secure management architecture. So CP is nothing but a checkpoint secure management architecture. Forgive me for my handwriting, but just understand what I'm going to tell you. So checkpoint secure management architecture, in a short, they also call it SMART. S stand for secure, M stand for management, A stand for architecture, R stand for T is combined like architecture. So let me draw again. S stand for secure, M stand for management, and ART stand for architecture. Okay, so the smart SA SMART architecture enable a rich set of sophisticated management capability in a checkpoint solutions, starting with the core components such as integrated digital certificate authority and advanced tech table synchronization capabilities. With the smart technology, it allows Checkpoint to offer a management tools to meet the need of the organization from small business to a large distributed enterprise and global service providers. With Smart, Security Administrator can centrally configure, manage, monitor, report on all security devices, including endpoints, from a single console. The Smart Dashboard. Smart Dashboard which helps administrator to update, implement, latest threats defense from a central control point. So one console, smart dashboard. From here, you are managing all these things. So basically, it's smart architecture gives you all what you need. Checkpoint have a core system, so we can call it as a checkpoint core system, which integrated with three interconnected components. Three interconnected components. Number one, smart console. Number two, SMS, which stand for Security Management Server. And last one is your security gateway, which is security gateway. So in a pictorial format, it looks like there is a system which is your workstation where smart console application is installed. We are going to see what is the smart console. But for now, there is some application which is called smart console, and inside that smart console, you have a dashboard where you have to do manage. So your machine, your PC, where we install the smart console, which is interconnected to your SMS, secure management server, and SMS is interconnected to your checkpoint gateway. And this arrangement, basically, we call it three-tier system. So when you go for the checkpoint firewall interviews, very basic and the first question you ask, you get, which is what is the checkpoint three-tier architecture, three-tier architecture, three-tier system. So this is all about it. We are going to see each and every component now individually. So let me just clean this. So let's start. What is smart? Uh, what is smart console? Smart console, the number one first component of three tier architecture. Okay, so the console or the smart center GUI smart console is comprised of several clients that manage the checkpoint security environment. One of these smart console client is your smart dashboard. We are going to see this in a practical way, but for the theoretical part, just understand there is something called smart dashboard, which is a part of your smart console, which provide a single GUI interface for defining and managing multiple elements of secure virtual network, such as your firewall, your VPNs, your NAT, your QoS, etc. All object definitions like users, hosts, network services, and so on are shared amongst all applications for efficient policy creation and security management. The next component of 3-tier architecture is your security management center, sorry, server, which we also call SMS. The SMS store and distribute security policies to multiple security gateways. Policies are defined using smart dashboard and saved on SMS. So this is your PC. Here you have the smart console installed, and the smart console, one of the component is your dashboard. Okay. On this dashboard, you define or create your rules of your policies. Okay. So the SMS store and distribute security policies to multiple security gateways. Policies are defined using smart dashboard and saved on an SMS. The SMS maintains the checkpoint dashboard, which include the network object definitions, user definitions, security policy, and log files for a firewall gateways. Once policies are created or modified, they are distributed to the security gateways, centralized policy management, which increases your efficiency compared to the sophisticated solutions that require either multiple management interface or pre-device policy installations. Security is strengthened because the security policy is always up to the date and all network security gateways. So this is your second component, which is called security management server.
And the last component is your security gateway. Security gateway is your actual firewall device. They come up with the form of appliances, the physical hardware device, and the software. The security gateway is the firewall machine on which the firewall software is installed. Smart console and the SMS may be deployed on the same or a separate machine on a client server configuration, but the SMS functionality, which is management server functionality, and the gateway functionality can be achieved within one single appliance or within one single box, which we call standard deployment. And when there is a separate security management server and separate gateway, which we call distributed deployment, we'll be going to learn this part, but I'm just telling I'm just talking about the security gateway. So security gateway is deployed on the internet gateway and other network access points. Security policies are defined using smart dashboard and saved to the SMS. So as we have this three-tier architecture, your PC, your SMS, and your gateway, okay, they all are interconnected. So your policy you define here and you will save into the SMS, and that policy you push into the gateway. This is how the process is. So the security policies are defined using a smart dashboard and saved to an SMS. An inspection script is generated from the policy. Inspection code is compiled from the inspection script and is installed on the security gateway, which protected the network. Just what I have just explained. So I hope you understand what is checkpoint three-tier architecture and the explanation about it, and these are the actual core component of the checkpoint firewall. Let me clear the screen and let's move where this checkpoint firewall actually fit into the OSI network layer model. So we all are a network engineers, so basic OSI network model we should know. So OSI stand for open system interconnection. It contains 7 layers. One start from the bottom physical layer, then your data link layer, then your network layer, then your transport layer, then session layer, then presentation layer, and last is your application layer. So basically, the layer 1, it represents physical communication or a media required hardware such as Ethernet card, cable, and hubs. Layer 2 data link layer represent where the network traffic is delivered to the local area network LAN. This is where we identified a single specific machine, tech, tech place things, media access control like a MAC address, which is assigned to the network interface card by the manufacturer, where we identified on the data link layer. An Ethernet address belonging to an Ethernet card is layer 2 MAC address. Okay. An example of physical device performing in a layer 2 would be your switch. Okay. Layer 3 is your network layer. It represents where delivery of the network traffic on a wide area network WAN or more commonly the internet take place. Addressing in this layer is referred to as the internet protocol like IP protocol. Addressing and create unique address except when the NAT is employed. NAT makes it possible to address multiple physical systems by a single layer 3 IP address. An example of physical device performing this layer would be a router. Okay, so where the checkpoint firewall resides. Likewise, there is a transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, application layer. So the firewalling capability, which is generally reside between your network layer and the transport layer. More of the work is defined at the network layer, but now we have a application firewalls, so the transport layer and the upper layer come into the picture, right? Let's clean this up. The next concept of introductory things of a checkpoint firewall is your mechanism for controlling network traffic. So what is exact mechanism we have to control the network traffic? So this is very basic, but we need to understand this is very important. Number one, packet filtering. Packet filtering technology. Number two, stateful inspection. And number three, application intelligence. Let's understand one by one. Let's start with the packet filtering. What is packet filtering? So fundamentally, messages are divided into the packets that include the destination address and data. Packets are transmitted individually and often by different routes. Once the packet reaches the destination, they are recompiled into the original message. That is what we usually refer as the OSI layer working. So packet filtering is a firewall in the most basic form of the firewalling. The purpose of the packet filtering to provide the control access to a specific network segment as directed by the pre-configured set of rules or rule base, which define the traffic permitted access or denied access based on your configuration rules. Packet filtering usually functions at the layer 3, which is network layer of the OSI model, and the transport layer of the OSI model. In general, a typical packet will include the following elements like source address, destination address, source port, destination port, protocols. Those are standards which measures when we perform the packet filtering on the packet. The packet filtering firewall are the least secure type of firewall. They cannot understand the context of a given communication, making it easier for intruder to attack. So I'll give a classic example. So with the packet filtering, uh, you need to have, for example, say you have a rule to do the communication between source A to source B. Okay, what you will achieve, you need to do to have this communication to be enabled. You need to have one rule for one direction, like say source IP address is 10.1.1.2 and destination IP address is 1.1.1.1. So you need to have a one rule which allowing this traffic, and you need to have another rule which allowing the traffic from the destination to the source 1.1.1.1 to 10.1.1.2. So this is what we do in a packet filtering. Now let's see what is stateful inspection. Stateful inspection. So stateful inspection is a technology developed and patented by the Checkpoint firewall. So this is what I learned since I am working with the Checkpoint firewall. This technology is patented by the Checkpoint firewall. It incorporates layer 4 awareness into the standard packet filtering firewall architecture. Stateful inspection differs from packet filtering in that it examines a packet not only in its header but also the content of the packet up through the application layer to determine more about the packet than just the information about a list source, its source and destination. The state of the connection is monitored and a state table is created to compile the information. As a result, filtering includes a context that has been established by previous packet passed through the firewall. For example, stateful inspection firewall provides security measures against the port scanning by closing the ports until the specified port is requested. So basically, in a stateful packet filtering, Checkpoint have a technology which they call dynamic, or they have the inspect engine, which gives dynamic state tables. So basically, as we said, uh, the packet information, source IP, destination IP, source port, destination port, protocols. These details get stored into this state table, and based on these details, the next packet which will come for this communication is get allowed. For example, for a packet filtering, we need to have two rules for a source to destination, destination to source. But with the stateful packet inspection, you need to only have one rule. And based on this stateful intelligence, the packets are allowed. This is what we call as a stateful inspection. And the last part of this is your application intelligence. Application intelligence. A growing number of attacks attempt to exploit vulnerability in a network application rather than a targeting firewall directly. That is what's happening today. Application intelligence is a set of advanced capability integrated into the firewall and intrusion prevention system (IPS) that detect and prevent application layer attacks. Application intelligence works primarily with the application layer defense. In a practice, however, many attacks aimed at a network application actually target the network and transport layer. So with the transport layer, we have the protocols like TCP, UDP. With the network layer, we have IP. With the presentation layer, we have protocols like HTTP, FTP, RPA, RPC, SMTP, etc. So the application control software blade implement application intelligence which enable the IT team to easily create granular policies based on the group of identified threats and block those things within a single click. This is what we get from the application intelligence. So this is what overall things I wanted to explain with this chapter 1. What is the core component of the checkpoint firewall? In next video, we'll be seeing and how actual security gateway perform the stateful inspection. Basically, the stateful inspection architecture.
So when one company acquire work from another company, these are the things which administrator need to perform, or these are the works are there which need to be delivered if you are the admin. So number one is whatever the uh, passwords you have for the existing administrator, those password you need to change. Then you need to make a full inventory of the gateways, which includes the versions, vendor supports, when the support is getting expired. Supports for the vendors are basically two types. One is your checkpoint support, and two, your third party support. Checkpoint support usually we get when we purchase appliance from the checkpoint. Checkpoint uh, uh, directly provide you the support. When you purchase the basically appliance from the checkpoint itself without involving any third party, that time you will get a standard support from the checkpoint for whatever the relevant areas they feel they need to have a support. And if you want extra support, they will give you that with the additional amount. And the second one is third party support where the you need to uh, get third party vendors in picture. For example, if you purchase a checkpoint appliances with the help of third party vendors, they will also provide you the support. So the support structure like first your third party provide you support, and if they not able to deliver, they will go to the checkpoint tag and give you the support, right? Then you need to create a network infrastructure diagrams. Basically, whatever the network you have with that project, like you have you need to create a different network diagrams, low level design, which we call, and the high level design. Low level design is all about your Visio diagrams. High level designs are more of your pictorial diagrams where you get overview of your infrastructure. Then you identify the different risks which uh, risky rules involved in your rule base. Usually, there are series of the rules already present. If you acquire a project from another company, they, according to their requirement, they provided the rules. They those rules may be with the different
access. So you need to identify those rules, and accordingly you need to break it down and delete or put the rules as per your requirement. Look at the security dashboard to bring any security risk or compromise asset to the table. So basically, this is the high level things you need to deliver. Different dashboard you get when you go with the checkpoint cloud products. Based on that, you need to come up with the different security characteristics. Failover testing, those are the clustering part. Performance monitoring is something is also delivered by the different blades like smart view monitor, uh, like that. Let me scroll down here.